Okay, today we're going to look at a website, a business for a business consulting company. You can see I'm on the Zero to Digital New Hampshire business ranking page here, and I've filtered by business consulting, and I guess we can look at HR ROI Consulting LLC out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. You can see they're the top company that we have listed here so far on our ranking in a ranking database. About 5 million globally and 65 indexed pages. And their website has been around since 2017. So, in the grand scheme of things, that's fairly young. It's only a few years, at least for at least for their domain name. So let's go ahead and take a look at their website. Okay, let me just see what I see here real quick. I kind of want to get first impressions. Well, you can see after a couple of seconds, must be a 5 second delay or so. Got this little pop up here. Looks like they're using this service too, which is great. If you can use an existing software, that's helpful and more time efficient. So don't miss our complimentary webinars and HR updates. Subscribe below. So that's interesting. Great, telling me what it is. Must be some sort of newsletter here. We could subscribe with our name and email. It's great. If I just know that I want that, great. Otherwise, you might need to sell me a little bit. So maybe if there was some sort of other like a bulleted list of the values that I can expect to receive or whatever, or other reviews from existing newsletter subscribers, that might be helpful. But anyway, that's for overall. That's good that they have some sort of lead generation process like this. So their homepage here, you obviously see their big logo and a little tagline: "People, Strategy, Success." That's good to focus. Have something like that, right? Whether it's a headline or part of the logo here, kind of, I guess, identifying them or identifying who they are, what their mission is. Their navigation is pretty small. From a design standpoint, it looks like there's a lot of things that are just kind of floating. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I know from my perspective, I like things to kind of have their place, right? So here, this logo is kind of floating in the middle. We have the social media links on the side, search button over here, navigation links. I kind of like to have some sort of a little bit more solid structure. It looks like these. I'm assuming that they would go to their pages. I've said this before, but when somebody's on your website, you don't necessarily want to send them away to your social media pages. Your social media exists to bring people in, right? You're meeting people in social media where they are, right? People spend time on LinkedIn, on Twitter, on YouTube, right? So that's where you go to find them and bring them back to your website, right? So we don't want to necessarily send them away. Sure, if they become a customer or something or a prospect and we want them to participate in a group that we have set up in one of those, that's fine. But later, for now, I'd focus on converting them to being a customer. So we do have a little, looks like contact us, like a form or something. Actually, let's go ahead and click on that and see what okay, so it's a little form here, part of this other plugin that looks like they've installed on their website as well. So this is good. The phone is good, but I wouldn't have the social media links here. Let's go down the homepage a little bit. So kind of, we partner with organizations to create the best workplaces. Great, that's what you do. Cool, great. It's good to kind of be upfront and honest about what you do, right? Like, it can be hard to understand what the purpose is, right? HR ROI, well, consulting, right? But what kind of consulting? Like what that could still mean quite a few things. So it's good to get to the point about what you do. So in this case, if I'm in an organization that and I have employees, then great. This might be a good fit for us to partner with a company like HR ROI Consulting. Looks like we have some of this. I can hide that plug in there so it doesn't overlap the copy. a little bit about them, it looks like, about who they are as a company, as a consulting firm, their experience, um, and then it looks like maybe a little bit about what they offer. Um, oh, it looks like we have some sort of a fixed feature with this header, but it kind of is taking up quite a bit of the page here. So telling us what we can receive, so different services, when it might make sense for us to partner with them, you know, if we're experiencing decreased performance and morale, if we're overwhelmed with managing HR solutions on our own, so on and so forth. They have plenty. I'd say they have plenty of call to actions. Right, here's another button. Let's discuss your solutions. Up here, learn about our services, which I guess will take you to a services page. That's not really a call to action. But up here, contact us, right? And then over here, that plugin, right? Contact us. So that's great that they have. They're making it really easy for someone to take the next step, which is good. I think that for the most part up here, this can be kind of generic. So I don't know how well they convert with this button, for example. Contact up on the top of the navigation is good because that's what people look for. So let's go down here. Have a list of their partners. So some recognizable things in here, right? The Greater Concord Chamber of Commerce, New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits. It's helpful to have logos like that, right? That you're familiar with, um, uh, because it helps you to better relate, right, to HR, ROI, and other companies that do that. Because maybe before today I had never heard of this company before, right? But I've heard of these before, in University of New Hampshire, right? Business and Industry Association of New Hampshire, right? So that it automatically puts you kind of in that grouping that, oh, well, they must be trustworthy. Even though, honestly, any company could put any of these logos on their site. Hopefully, they wouldn't put this on their site if they weren't a member, although they still could, right? But it's just kind of a clever little tactic, and so I applaud HRROI for putting that on their website. And then we have a footer here, kind of again some more floating things, more credibility here with the Better Business Bureau logo or badge here, saying that they're accredited, so that's good. So overall, looking at the homepage, I would just say they have a lot of call to actions. That's a plus. They tell you right away what they do, and then they have logos of familiar companies and organizations that make them relatable. So those are positive things. Let's look at a service page here. So human resource consulting. So let's see what this page looks like. Ton of content here, right? A lot of text. And it's hard to kind of scan the text because it's like so wide, right? Edge to edge. This is probably 1,200 pixels wide. It's when you have a lot of text, I find that it's helpful to have it be narrower, right? Easier for somebody to be able to look side to side and quickly scan it. So anyway, so it looks like they're trying to relate, right? Are you finding HR responsibilities are increasingly challenging to juggle? So they're relating. They're relating to what the challenges that many companies face are. They're telling us to consider them as a partner for solving those problems. Telling you why, right? Their exceptional service, expertise, resources, 24/7, 365 HR response. So that's good to explain the service and why they're the best fit for it. Another call to action, which is great. They've been good at that. And then I guess it looks like they explain a little bit more about what is involved in their services here. So one thing I would say is there's a lot of content here to do something with, right? Like look at all this text. That's great. A lot of websites don't have content or this much of it. So I look at this and I think, oh, there's a lot of text, a lot of content that we can do stuff with. I would break this down into different sections, right? I would make the text more narrow. The headlines are good. The lists are good, even though the let's say the formatting is a little different size fonts here. But I would break it apart with visuals or images, or maybe different types of content, like if you have reviews or frequently asked questions or whatever it might be. Um, Try to break this apart, and maybe it might make sense to put some of these on different pages, or you can have them on the same page in different sections would give you the feeling of navigating to a different page. Um, and make sure that these are in a certain order that makes sense from a sales perspective, right? So if you're HR ROI consulting, you want to take people who visit the website from you know being aware, right, of your business to being interested, right, in what you have to offer, to being hooked and then signing up, right, as a customer, or contacting you and becoming a lead or a prospect, for example. So make sure this content is organized in such a way that it gives an overview, and then it helps as the user um, uh, advances through that thought process of, oh yeah, this sounds interesting, or oh yeah, that actually sounds like a really good fit for us. Maybe we should consider them. And oh, how can we not consider them? Because look at their experience, or oh, they offer this benefit, right? And then oh, I'm just gonna I'm gonna go ahead and contact them, and we'll see what happens from there, right? So think of that mindset. Don't just put a bunch of text. And I'm not saying this is just a bunch of text. I think that there's a lot of things we could do with this. But just it's important to have that mindset when you have a website, of what the purchasing funnel is, right? For the purchasing process is for the user, and then therefore what your sales funnel should look like on your website to convert a user to a customer. Okay, so let me see one other page here. I'm thinking that a lot of these services might be very similar, as far as the page layout and design. Yeah, less content here, but still the same idea of content, call to action, footer. Again, I don't like how big this is. Right, when I'm scrolling back up, it's taking up almost half of my page. That's kind of gets in the way. I wish I could hide that or move that somewhere. Let's take a look at a couple pages. Events. So it looks like they have some good, let's see, a group, um, third Tuesday of each month. That's cool that they have that ongoing thing. Um, they have other events or Zoom. It looks like these are pretty much all Zoom meetings here, but it looks like they definitely value and place an emphasis on having these meetings or these webinars, like we saw in the little pop-up call to action there on the first page when we first visited the website. So it's great. They obviously place a big emphasis on this. It looks like they're partnering with University of New Hampshire for that, which again is great. It gives them that credibility. So terrific that they have that. Um, and they kind of lay out, right? There's no commitment, no cost to participate. And then let me just see if I were to click on this. So that's kind of just a generic form, contact form. So not really for the event. Oh, we have a different pop-up here. Okay, that's a Ukrainian thing. That's fine. I don't know if I would put it in a pop-up, but let me just look at one other event here. Register with UNH. Hopefully this will take me directly to a page for that, right? What was the event about? Ocean regulations and risk management. Yeah, so takes me to a page of the UNH website, which tells me how I can sign up, or what the cost is, and how I can sign up for more information. So that's good. Okay, but yeah, looks like they have a lot of great events that I'm sure are great promotion opportunities for them as a consulting firm. Let's look at the blog page here. See, they have a lot of good posts. It looks like maybe once a month or so, twice a month. They look to post maybe 3 times a month. That's great. Um, and it looks like they're all um, pretty relevant to the business. So great. I usually say that like content marketing or content creation is one of the best long term marketing tactics that you can have for your website because um, primarily of search engine optimization purposes, right? Over time, your website will gain in quality and search rankings, right, over time, and can stay like that for many years just based on a couple blog posts. So that's terrific. One last thing, let's go back to this contact page we were at a second ago here. I like the options, right? Phone number, email, form. Different users will have different ways they prefer to contact you. The map is good. Sure, if you'd like to visit them, um, and then this, I guess this is kind of more of like a public relations thing, right? Talking about how they're a sponsor of Center for Wildlife. That's fine. I don't know if I would really put this on the contact page, but anyway, I like the multiple options of contacting them. So overall, I would say uh, great about having a lot of call to actions. Um, you don't necessarily want to have them everywhere, right? It could be a little annoying, but whenever you introduce something or talk about something, you can follow that up with an action step for the user, and that's helpful for the user as well, and for you guys, right? Because as a company with a website, you're not looking to just provide information, right? You want the users to act to become customers. Um, I would say a lot of great content. I think that it could definitely use some design tweaks to help the user navigate through the content, help the user to be able to absorb it without just looking at a page after page of just text. Um, I would tweak this top navigation, so it doesn't look like everything's floating, and so that this logo isn't taking up so much of every page. It gets in the way quite a bit, so that's a negative thing. Um, these social media links, I wouldn't be promoting these either. If you want to have those in your website, have them down somewhere in the footer or on the contact page after everything else or something like that. But don't send people away from your website. But yeah, overall, I think there's a lot of great things here for the HR ROI website. Um, and yeah, that's all I have for today. So thanks. Well, I hope that you enjoyed that case study today. My name is Tyler, and if you'd ever like us to review your website or digital marketing and see how we might be able to help you use it to grow your business, please visit us at zerotodigital.com, and we'd love to work with you. Thanks.